person. He's so humble. He works so hard. And I think he's underrated. Right foot, left foot, still going now at the age of 40. It shows you the commitment he's put in. And, you know, I'm gutted he's not playing tonight. I would like to see him start.
He's on the bench. Do you think he'll feature tonight?
I spoke to him earlier. He said he was nursing something. Give him a little text. But hopefully he'll be on the pitch at some stage.
And, of course, you'll have your eye on your former teammate from Arsenal, Olivier, in Kolasinac.
Siad, yeah. I played with him at Arsenal. Great guy, a proper warrior on the pitch. You can count on him, and he'll give 120% for his country.
And then a young player that we should all be looking out for tonight, Bayrak Tarovic. Tell us a bit about him.
Yeah, no, he was well thought of in the USA. He was born in the USA, grew up there, and he played for the USA youth team. And then obviously he chose Bosnia, but very, very direct winger, really excited the team and scored the winning penalty to get Bosnia to the World Cup. So Bayrak Tarovic is one to look out for.
Absolutely, and models of concentration, those nerves in the tunnel when you're starting. I mean, you're starting your World Cup as the holders, which you did, must be another level. But as the hosts, it is also so important, isn't it?
Sorry, Dzeko's playing?
Dzeko's on the bench, but we know, you're right, he is...
all the teams go out
if they
together.
do it like last night, don't worry, don't panic. We haven't led you down the wrong path there. Do you remember last night they all lined up, didn't they, in the circle? They've got this new kind of face-off formation there.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's what did you make of that kind of circular formation that they're going to employ here?
You know, I didn't mind it. I think you got to embrace it. It's a World Cup. We're going to see different things. It's not something we're going to do over here, but yeah, I didn't mind it.
I like when in the 90s the players run out the floor and just go.
Just straight through.
Yeah.
Old school.
Just go back to them.
Better than the Club World Cup, though, when they come out as individuals, maybe. That didn't quite...
So bad.
Didn't like that, no?
No.
Did you like those moments when, in the tunnel, kind of getting ready to go out and do battle?
Yeah, to be honest, I was really focused in the tunnel. I didn't really, you know, concentrate on who I was playing against. I was focused on going out for the game. So there'll be a lot of nerves in that tunnel as well, because there's a lot of young players there. So there will be a lot of nerves in there. And as soon as all the ceremony, you know, is finished, I think then they'll set themselves down and get ready for the game.
And this bit takes a long time because it is the opening game in Canada. We saw that last night, didn't we? So it's even longer to kind of stew with your thoughts, Micah.
Yeah, I was always very nervous. I mean, I wasn't fortunate enough to play in a World Cup, but when you're playing for your country and you line up alongside someone, I always used to look at the person I was playing against to see if I could, in the first challenge, get one over on him. But in the tunnel, the nerve just overcome me. Couldn't wait to get onto the pitch and just make that first challenge. But for someone like you who's won it, Olivia, what's that feeling like when you're going out and you know full well sometimes you're going to be the favourites to win the game?
Yeah, I'm someone really relaxed, and I try just to focus on what I have to do on the pitch. So first time, I'm calm and confident, and I don't look on the right or on the left. Otherwise, I lose my focus. And but very, very excited before getting on the pitch, obviously.
Well, we're excited to get going. It is the hosts' opening game, and we are nearly ready. But don't forget, you can watch every game in Ultra HD on iPlayer. Audio description is also available. Just select Add on iPlayer. So for the first time in our BBC World Cup coverage, let's hand over to our commentary team, Steve Wilson and Stephen Warnock.
Well, thank you very much, Gabi. Good evening, everybody. Actually, mid-afternoon in Toronto as the World Cup comes to Canada, which becomes the 19th nation to host World Cup matches since it all began in 1930. We're on the western shore of Lake Ontario at the Toronto Stadium, or BMO Field as it's normally known. Toronto, a city of some 3 million, obsessed with the Maple Leafs, the Blue Jays and the Raptors, and today very much engaged with the World Cup. And if they could start with the first ever World Cup win, then who knows what might follow for this sport in this country. The anthems first, Bosnia first. Their coach Sergei Barbarez said in a recent interview that he gets emotional just thinking about this moment. There is a significant Bosnian diaspora in Canada and around 10,000 in Toronto. Many of them are here today. Be a jagged little pill to swallow if Canada lose this one. The atmosphere is terrific. And they do have a footballing history, the host. They were Olympic football champions back in 1904 in St. Louis. No matter that it was a three-team tournament and the other two teams were both representing the United States. Bosnia and Herzegovina are here. Wales and Italy are not. Both falling to Sergei Barbarez's side in the knockout playoffs. Both those ties won by Bosnia on penalties. Stephen Warnock alongside me. We've really enjoyed Toronto over the last couple of days as more and more football fans have appeared. I wondered where they all were actually on Wednesday, but it's very much a football city today.
Yeah, incredible. The turnout since 10 o'clock this morning when we left the hotel, got the train across here. You could just see the fans starting to flock into the stadium, and then sort of 2 hours before kickoff, the stadium was pretty much half full. They realised what they can do, what impact they can have on this team, this Canadian team. And Bosnia also, they've been well supported. A lot of fans have made their way into the stadium. I made my way from Tampa yesterday across to Toronto. And there's a lot of Bosnia fans on my flight as well. The atmosphere, Steve, is just incredible.
Well, certainly here, Toronto has embraced this tournament. Our referee today is from Argentina. Facundo Tejo took charge of Morocco's quarter-final win over Portugal in Qatar in the last World Cup, and he was the only non-European referee at Euro 2024. Hernan Mastrangelo leads the video assistant referee team. And Canada's coach, Jesse March, selects this 11. An American in charge of Canada. There's a president somewhere, seems to fancy a bit of that as well. The star man, Alphonso Davies, is still out. He hasn't played for his country since suffering a cruciate 15 months ago, but he could play their second game in the group against Qatar in Vancouver. Jonathan David of Juventus does start, so too Tejan Buchanan of Villarreal, and Hull City's Liam Miller. Tani Uluwashey is preferred to Kyle Larin up front. That was not expected. 7 of the 11 played the last World Cup when they lost all 3. Bosnia and Herzegovina in their second World Cup after a 12-year gap, but he's without one of the players, Sergei Barbarez, who bridged that gap, and Injeko missing. Hasn't started a game since March because of a shoulder injury. Kolasinac, the other survivor from 2014, does start. Dzeko's sometime understudy, Haris Tabakovic, is also out with an ankle injury, so that's not great for them. Look out for US-born Esmir Baraktarovic of PSV Eindhoven, but 18-year-old Kerim Alabegovic, who'll be playing for Bayer Leverkusen next season, is not involved. Amar Memic gets the nod. There is Edin Dzeko. If he does get on today, he'll become the second oldest outfield player ever to take to the field in a World Cup match after Roger Milla of Cameroon. So Canada all in red, Bosnia in white with blue sleeves. This is Group B. The other two sides in this section are Qatar and Switzerland. They will meet each other tomorrow. Canada looking to make history by taking a first ever point in World Cup finals football. But they're looking for a win somewhere along the line in this tournament. And it is Canada who are going to get us underway, kicking from right to left in the first 45 minutes. Facundo Tejo blows his whistle, and off we go. And a nice, positive, bright start by the home side, looking to get going with Oluwaseyi. I like that, right on the front foot from kickoff.
Yeah, straight away, spin the ball in behind Oluwaseyi, making sure that he's stretching the back line of Bosnia, and now gives them that opportunity for a long throw.
Which Liam Miller delivers into the penalty area, and it's whipped across and deflected behind. Luc de Fougerolles lashed it into the danger area, and it's a first-minute corner.
And straight away, keep the hype up from the Canada fans. Make sure that they're getting behind the team, and the team have started extremely well very early on in this game.
The corner will be taken by their captain, Stefan Eustáquio. It's a training ground routine, which didn't quite go to the plan. Very advanced starting position from Crepo in the Canadian goal, finding Konek. Kolasinac, the former Arsenal left-back, wearing 5 for Bosnia. Here he is. And he's caught with free kick.
He did well, Kolasinac. He just knew the foul, the tackle was coming, just rode it. But we know that Bosnia, they're going to sit deep, they're going to be organised, they're going to be difficult to play through. And then it's how quickly they can break on the counter-attack. I think the big thing for Canada is, can they control their emotions and just calm themselves at vital times in this game?
Well, he said in the build-up that at a World Cup, not giving away goals is the most important thing. In comes the Bosnian free kick, which is headed back across goal, and it's a chance, and it's lashed up and over the top of the crossbar, and it was a little glimmer of an opportunity. He got right underneath it, Amar Mimic.
Yeah, it's a lovely ball to the back post. First header's won, and then you just flick a foot out and ricochets into the path of Mimic. I have to say, the pressure that was applied to him, it was a difficult opportunity, but should be hitting the target at least.
Tarovic losing out. De Fougerolles. Kolasinac there ahead of Tejan Buchanan. De Fougerolles with a header. As Gabby was saying, he is a Fulham player, but spent last season on loan at Belgium, relegated with Dender. Could have been played earlier. I think by the time he thought of playing it, Oluwaseyi would have been offside. Nearly found Miller.
I think it's very evident from Oluwaseyi. He wants to play on the shoulder, he wants to run in behind. Like you say, Steve, he'd just gone a fraction early, it wasn't the right pass, he would have been offside.
Kolasinac is the captain in the absence of Edin Dzeko in the starting lineup. Nothing given.
don't think there's too much in it between the two players. Fujarol, he might be young and inexperienced, but I've seen him play before for Fulham a couple of years ago when he was 18 years of age, and he had a great maturity about him. Spoke to Marco Silva about him, and he believes he's got a big future. I'm going to say Marco Silva's now left Fulham, so they won't work together again at Fulham. And you just never know. You might pick him up at Benfica.
It's a free kick to Bosnia-Herzegovina. Ivan Basic is going to take this. And he's going to take it square, and it's going to come right back to Basic. It's not a bad delivery, and the header is wide and off target from Jovan Lukic.
I think Jesse March will be saying that's a little bit of a concern now. A couple of set pieces that have come into the box, and they've won both of the first headers. Jovan Lukic this time at the back post, just can't direct it back towards goal.
Clattered away by Crepo. Nikola Vasil is the Bosnia goalkeeper. Basic. Kolasinac, that's not a bad ball into the run of Jovan Lukic. Fujarol has covered it well.
It's been a positive start from him. He's small in stature, but he's got bags of pace. He'll do well to outrun him. He used his body well there against Lukic, just to hold him off.
It's only his fourth cap. Jovan Lukic was the top scorer in Romanian football in the season which has just finished, but if Ceko or Tabakovic were fit, he would not be in this side. Amar Dedic with this throw. He was actually coached by Jesse March when they were both at Salzburg. Muharomovic to Dedic. Tahirovic away to Kolasinac. Canada's throw.
Yeah, you can just see him asking a little bit more help from Nemic. He wants a little bit more movement in front of him just to free himself up. He had one pass on there and he blocked it off.
Well, he's claiming a foul, Jonathan David. Referee from Argentina did not agree. That might have come off the left arm, but it's a throw-in only. Marek Tarovic couldn't control it. Oof. One from Oluwaseyi with, I think, what you call an uncompromising challenge, but a fair one.
It was a decent challenge by Katic. I think he just obviously won the ball, but took a little bit of the man as well. The referee feels like he's going to let a few things go in this game.
Alistair Johnson, Celtic fullback, looking for Buchanan. And the ball has just beaten the pair of them over the line. It's going to be a throw-in. He's got a bit of quality about him. Tejan Buchanan, Villarreal wide man. Once of Inter Milan, actually, though he didn't pull up too many trees at the San Siro.
I think that's a battle of pace against experience on that side of the field against Kolasinac.
Nice little flick round the corner from Jovan Lukic. Kolasinac with the throw in Italy now with Atalanta. It's Dedic. Ishmael Kone, very much the driving force in the Canadian midfield, finding Liam Miller. Quite enough pace on the pass for Larrea.
Yeah, it's quite dry.
This throw.
It's quite dry, the pitch, isn't it, Steve? You can see that. Just struggling the players to move the ball at any real pace at the moment.
And normally, of course, you'd water it, but because of all the opening ceremony and stuff, it's all covered with all the paraphernalia for that. And with Michael Bublé and Alanis Morissette, you can't get them wet. Liam Miller with this throw. Good distance on it, a firm defensive header. This is Eustachio for Canada. Maxime Crépeau missed the last World Cup when he broke his leg just before Canada travelled to Qatar.
It's been a real talking point for Canada. Who would be the #1? He gets the nod.
And it was a decision which Jesse March actually announced to the media, getting on a week ago, which I guess is good management. Well, that's a misplaced pass, which could prove that's a poor challenge. Memic has been taken out. This will be a yellow card. Well, listen, it was a poor ball which started it. Johnston made a bad challenge, trying to make amends for the concession of possession. Amar Memic was on his way.
Yeah, this is the pass that you're talking about, Steve. O'Shea, poor ball, and Johnston's on the back foot. Maybe he can just stand his ground a little bit longer. Well, Kolasinac was actually asking the question. He's saying he wants more. He's saying that he's in a goal. I'm not so sure. There's a long way to go. I think he's just putting something in the referee's mind there.
Well, they're obviously watching the game in Mexico City yesterday. An early yellow card for Alistair Johnston. If we do get a red card today, we will already have equalled the entire number of red cards in the last World Cup.
Incredible.
And that was not a good challenge, and it was not a very good pass from Oluwaseyi, which played Johnston into trouble. So, free kick to Bosnia, and Ivan Basic is going to take this. And it's headed down, but no real pace on it from Jovo Lukic.
Yeah, that's a concern again. First contact, they win the ball, they win that first header. It wasn't the greatest of balls in, but Lukic found himself in acres of space in the middle of the pitch.
And they're giving the ball away again here, Canada. They've got to be a little bit more careful in possession. Baraktarovic. Dedic into Tahirovic. Esmir Baraktarovic once again, blocked by Miller. Larrea here. And Canada win themselves a throw-in.
Yeah, I'm just looking down in front of us, and Jesse Marsh, he's just saying to his players, come on, let's get going. We want that tempo. It's been quite flat at the moment after a really good start from Canada. He talked about that high press. Just hasn't been there at the moment.
It's a year since they played a competitive game. Canada obviously qualifying as hosts. That was the Gold Cup quarter-final, which they lost on penalties to Guatemala. Kolasinac did well there, actually. And it's a different thing, isn't it? Friendlies for 12 months, and then the weight of expectation on your shoulders. And I'm not sure it's a fair weight of expectation. They've never won a point in World Cup finals football, and yet you speak to the locals and they expect them to get out of the group.
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it?
Throw-in taken quickly, clipped in toward Oluwaseyi and lashed behind. Canada are going to have another corner kick off the left boot of Benjamin Tahirovic.
Yeah, that's better though from Jonathan David. As soon as the ball goes out, he's off on his bike, he's getting in behind. Now we've got runners from midfield as well from Canada. Decent ball in, well defended.
Captain Eustachio will take this corner kick. Scoops in the cross. The header from Oluwaseyi went the wrong direction from his point of view, and Bosnia might be able to break here, and that's unfortunate because it's hit the referee, Facundo Tejo, right between the shoulder blades.
Barak Tarovic was down, him behind as well. The ball was the right ball. It would have been a 1v1 situation. There's nothing he can do about that, really, the referee.
Muharumovic with the blonde hair wearing number 4 is one of the rising stars of Bosnian football. Derek Cornelius for Canada. Eustachio. This is what they want Kone to do, to carry the ball and play a lovely ball into Oluwaseyi. Oluwaseyi square, can't find David. It'll be kept alive by Tejon Buchanan. Plenty of red shirts forward. Ishmael Kone. Cleared away by Muharumovic.
It's better from Kone in the middle of the park. Just a little give and go. They found themselves a little space. Canada, and then that lovely through ball. Just that end product now has to be better.
Larea to Miller. Richie Larea. Miller earned himself a little bit of space. Buchanan was waiting. Kolasinac won the header pretty well. Alistair Johnston. Johnston's ball in. Oluwaseyi didn't get it. It's a good save. Well, Jonathan David hit it, and he hit it straight into the gloves of Nikola Vasil. But it's the first real chance of the game.
Yeah, it's the one player that they want the ball to fall to. Jonathan David, as it ricochets into him here. You're thinking, get your strike. Make it a clean strike. It's not the greatest of hits from Jonathan David. It's a really comfortable save for the goalkeeper. Big opportunity for Canada.
Tahirovic back to goalkeeper Vasil, who held it well, but it was an easier save than he would have feared. Foul on Kone.
He's just come to life a little bit in the midfield, hasn't he, Kone? A couple of times where he's just bypassed that press of Bosnia. This time Basic just having him for the foul, and this is the opportunity for Jonathan David. Just wonder whether he might have hit it a little bit cleaner with his laces, put his laces through the ball and got a better strike.
Skimmed the head of Miller. It's going to be a throw into Bosnia. Nikola Vasil saved the Nico Williams penalty in the shootout against Wales, which meant that Bosnia progressed to face Italy in the final qualifying knockout game, and they won that on spot kicks as well. Replaced Savo Milosevic, remember him?
Yes.
As the coach of Bosnia-Herzegovina. Big Savo, the Villa striker, former Villa striker.
Oh, what a good player he was.
Amar Dedic with the Bosnian throw, missed when it probably shouldn't have been, but Derek Cornelius making amends here. Eustachio. Larea, Miller. Eustachio's done well. Richie Larea here. Into Jonathan David. Couldn't find Oluwaseyi. It was well blocked by Katic. They've got it again. Oluwaseyi this time letting Larea take it on. was a foul on Baraktarovic, but there's a nice pace about the game, isn't there? I mean, it's very pleasant conditions, but it's not overly hot. And you can play at pace, and they are playing at pace, and it's making for a good spectacle.
Yeah, it really is. It's been good from Canada so far. Again, there's little moments in midfield when they get beyond the press of Bosnia, finding routes in behind.
Nikola Katic with this free kick. Lukic holding the ball up until Cornelius took it from him. That's not a bad ball, Baraktarovic. Well, the referee's assistant on this near side, Juan Pablo Belatti, was about to wave his flag, and I think he just thought he'd let the on-pitch referee Facundo Tejo make the decision.
I think this is an interesting one because I think it was right on top of him. Baraktarovic just got beyond, and then Lere got a tiny little touch on the ball. Put it behind for a corner.
So Bosnia's corner, 20 minutes played, 0-0. Near post flicked on, and it's in. It might be an own goal, this. Well, Jovo Lukic runs away, taking the celebrations. He might just have scored his first international goal. The near post flick on from the corner kick. Jovo Lukic is getting the congratulations. Bosnia have the lead.
We talked about first contacts. That's the first contact, and here's Lukic with a really good header, an easy header. Just gets himself in front of his man, and the simplest of touches. But Jesse Marsch, he will not be happy at all. That's 4 set pieces now where Bosnia have made first contact. They get the little flick on, and then Lukic was the easiest of tasks of just nodding it into the net, putting Bosnia 1-0 ahead.
Richie Larea was on the line. Jovo Lukic got in front of him. Canada 0, Bosnia 1. There's a long way to go, but Bosnia have struck first. It's a good set piece.
Yeah, it is. It's a really smart set piece. The flick on at the front post, it's a difficult ball to play into that front area. It's got to be so precise. It's got to allow that flick on to happen. Trouble.
Fujerol in trouble here. He's got the free kick. Demirovic nearly took it away from him. These, you feel now, are really important, these next few moments for Canada.
And Bosnia have got to smell blood, haven't they? They've got to sense that there's an opportunity here to go after Canada.
It's the first drinks break at the midway point of the first half. And Jovo Lukic has scored his first international goal. Sergei Barbaret's side have the lead. And this is actually, I would say, probably, Stephen, a pretty good moment for Jesse Marsch to be able to speak to his side.
Yeah, he needs to sort them out from set pieces, that's very clear. But the other side of it is there's got to be more quality at the top end of the pitch.
Well, don't forget, you can scan the QR code on screen now to get involved with the action and go to the live page in the BBC Sport app for polls and updates and reaction throughout the match, with Bosnia-Herzegovina leading by a goal to 0. It's rather popped the party, that.
Yeah, it certainly did, and you just get the feeling now that Jesse Marsch has to get more belief into his team, believe that they can get at this Bosnia backline. We've seen it a couple of times where they've got in behind, but that quality final ball just hasn't been right. This is the goal. It's the Kolasinac with that little flick at the near post, and Lukic with the header. They'll be so annoyed with themselves because, like you say, Steve, it's a simple set piece, but it's a really effective one.
There's really good pace on the delivery from Ivan Basic. Ser Kolasinac with the flick. Jovan Lukic with the finish. And the man who would not have been involved had Edin Dzeko been fit, or had Haris Tabakovic been fit, has his moment. Canada's problem is that they don't score a lot of goals, only 8 in their last 9 games. They've struggled for goals from open play of late. Jesse Marsh has been saying he recognises that, but he believes that the quality is there for the goals to come. Well, coming up from the World Cup on the BBC, USA Paraguay in Group D from Los Angeles. That's BBC One and the iPlayer at 1:30 in the morning your time. Terrific World Cup day tomorrow. Brazil against Morocco. BBC One, the iPlayer, 10:30 in the evening. That's Group C from New Jersey. And then just into Sunday morning, Scotland against Haiti. That's from Group C in Boston on BBC One and the iPlayer. And if you do want to follow the other match in this Group B, Qatar against Switzerland, that's on BBC Sounds at 8 o'clock tomorrow. So 1-0 Bosnia. Tahirovic with a kind of a need clearance. Kolasinac certainly didn't mean that. He's giving Katic something to do. Collected by Stakio. Larea's forward ball is blocked by Varekterovic. Larea did well to tie up the youngster. Home advantage so important for the 3 host nations. Canada's problem is that the way the schedule is, if they don't win Group B, they cannot play any more games on home turf. So obviously just getting out of the group would be mission number 1. But if they don't win it, they won't play on home soil again. If they do win it, they will. They'll go to Vancouver. Johnston. The foul is somewhat belatedly given on Buchanan. Taken before the referee was ready. So Liam Miller and Stefan Eustachio over this. Left for the skipper. Little flick on. Basic only with half a clearance. Miller, that's not a bad ball. Decent feet. Good block too by Katic. Kolasinac getting a good bit of distance on that header, given there wasn't a lot of pace on it.
There's a lovely fizzed-in ball from Liam Miller into the feet of Jonathan David. Lovely take as well, but well blocked when he got that opportunity. I wonder how he's feeling now, that opportunity that fell to him earlier on.
Yeah. Koenig. To Fougerolles. The ball actually nodded on the direction of Tejan Buchanan. It's a good little tussle between Buchanan and Kolasinac down that right-hand side as Canada attack, and they've got another corner kick.
Yeah, he's got packets of pace, hasn't he, Buchanan? So he knows that he can play on the shoulder of Kolasinac. Kolasinac at the moment is doing well against him.
Derek Cornelius sniffing around. De Fougerolles and Oloruche around the penalty spot as well. It just cleared Oloruche. This is Miller and David. And again, Jonathan David, the spinning ball, bumped in the back, free kick.
Yes, a little bit too eager, wasn't he, to win that ball? Didn't really have to make the foul. Jonathan David wasn't going anywhere, wasn't causing a problem. He's quite happy to go to ground and win his team another free kick.
Eustachio to take this. Miller's lurking on the edge of the area, so is Kone. Obviously worked a lot on set pieces, we've seen that already. It is pulled back exactly to Ismail Kone, but his first touch wasn't really good enough. Larea. Miller. Good header from Muharrematic, and Bosnia can break. Fairly won. Jonathan David's done really well there. Koenig. Miller. This is Demirovic looking for the return pass, but Basic couldn't get it through. Two red shirts in front of him.
Yeah, I just think Liam Miller there could have taken his man down the line, and we saw it earlier on where he got that lovely little dink ball to the back post. Mix your game up as much as possible. I've seen it a few times that he's just jumped inside now.
Bosnia have actually drawn their last 5 matches. Austria, Wales, Italy, North Macedonia and Panama all finished all square. Stefan Eustachio, half an hour play. To Fougeron. Koenig. I think Muharrematic felt he was just pushed there as he made the clearance by Oluwaseyi. Miller, opportunity to get it in the box. It was a waving leg from Amar Dedic, which got enough of the ball for the referee. Kone. It's not a bad ball in. It might come back to Oluwaseyi. Won't find Jonathan David, though.
He's just a little bit raw, isn't he, Oluwaseyi? Just needs a little bit more composure, slow himself down when he gets in good areas. Just almost swiped at the ball there.
Here he is again now. What's he like on his left? He's lifted it over the top. Well, that is the second very presentable of the chance that Canada have had in this game. Oluwaseyi off target.
Initially, he does so well, just uses his body, a little nudge on the defender. And then sets himself, and you're thinking, now compose yourself, now slow yourself down, relax yourself. It sits up, it can never get it back down. He should be doing better. Again, should be hitting the target. 2 big opportunities now that Canada have had.
To Fougeron with the forward ball. Johnston. Cannon. He's always enjoyed a tackle, Kolasinac.
Yeah. It's been a good response from Canada since they went a goal down and since we had the water break. Whatever Jesse March has said, it's had a positive impact on the team. Now they've got to capitalise whilst they're on top.
Johnston to chuck this throw goalwards. It's a looper, which is headed behind by Jovo Lukic. One of several players actually in the Canada squad who've only recently really returned from injury. Alistair Johnston had hamstring surgery, which kept him out from October to April. Clearance from Baraktarovic. The chase is on here, and Memic, who is swift, has got there and won himself a throw-in.
Yeah, it's good for Memic. Just relieves a little bit of pressure off his team. Needed an outlet. Wanted to get runners forward there. Larea does well in that. Just making sure that he's covering.
Jokic with the head on, cleared away by Cornelius. Kolasinac. Good header. Cornelius absolutely dominated Demirovic. Just a little over 10 to play in this first half. That's given away. It is a throw-in, but not from where Johnston was planning to take it.
I think his initial throw didn't go into play, Steve. That's why he was asked to retake the throw-in.
Here's Liam Miller, be playing in the Premier League next season. Derek Cornelius to Fougerolles, Johnston. Kept in just by Miller. It's not a bad ball, actually. Kone has it under control. Oluwaseyi wanted the pass. It was well cut out by Ivan Basic.
Just overplayed there, Kone. The initial part so well, and then just has to feed the ball into Jonathan David. And when they do lose it in that midfield area in a commitment forward, Canada, they are susceptible to that counter-attack from Bosnia.
Was Jonathan David pushed? Doesn't really matter. On they go. Eustachio gets it wide. Johnston. Eustachio. Miller. Well tracked by Dedic. Well won by Kone. Liam Miller again. Derek Tarovic in front of him. Miller's done well. Has it gone behind for a corner? Yes, it has.
Yeah, it's positive again from Miller, this time going down the line, winning his team a corner. Just picks the crowd up again, puts the defenders on the back foot. It's exactly what you want.
So Canadian corner kick. Stefan Eustachio will take this. Well, he just looked for the head of Oluwaseyi, nearly found it as well. The scoop from Jonathan David hit Sead Kolasinac. One or two of the Canadian players are saying it hit him on the arm.
Well, Kolasinac doesn't realise that it's hit him and gone out for a corner. He walked off as if it was a goal kick, and he was quite happy to let the ball run out of play. It's not a handball, this is his side as it goes out. But could that be costly now from Kolasinac?
Eustachio with another Canadian corner kick. Just cleared Derek Cornelius. Oluwaseyi got something on it. Cleared away by Dedic. Ismail Kone for Canada. Maxime Crépeau. De Fougerolles. Tejan Buchanan, nice little step over. Change of pace. It's got to be another corner, hasn't it? Yes, it has.
Yeah, it's really good from Buchanan. I just think, why not hug the touchline more from his point of view? Give your fullback, Alistair Johnson, the opportunity to feed you the ball, get in 1v1 situations. He's played a very narrow role in this first half.
Eustachio. Cornelius. Miller. good header. Say, Jovo Lukic has not only scored the goal, but he's played extremely well up front for Bosnia-Herzegovina so far, holding the ball up and doing his defensive duties and scoring the goal. But they're under pressure here. A succession of corners. This one played short to Buchanan. Back to Eustachio. Ismail Kone. Blocked and cleared by Katic. Nodded on by Defugerol. Lofted high by Muharremetovic. Miller with a little touch. Where's this dropping? Jonathan David couldn't quite control it. That's not easy to control. Not absolutely certain he was onside either, but we may get a chance to judge.
Such a difficult skill as it's dropping out the sky. A player of his quality, he'll feel that he could have controlled that better. Just looking at the set pieces that Canada have taken, they've taken a lot of short corners. They obviously feel that Bosnia are better equipped to deal with those corners coming in. They want to shift players about and make it awkward for them.
Tarovic looking for Dedic. Eustachio's there. Defugerol. Miller. Lorea. Defugerol. Defugerol's place in the side is actually under threat because Moise Bombito, the Nice central defender who's barely played any football this season because of injury, was officially declared yesterday to be available for selection, if not quite fit to play. That may come in the games against Qatar and Switzerland ahead, in which case Defugerol would be the one probably to step out. Johnston. It's a little shove on Alistair Johnston.
You just see Bosnia, they're so happy just to sit in and try and contain. They've actually been poor on the ball when they've turned the ball over. They haven't been able to string many passes together, take that pressure off themselves. It's been all Canada since the goal.
Tarovic cutting out Miller's forward ball. Actually born in Wisconsin, the Bosnian number 20, PSV Eindhoven winger. Miller with the throw. Tahirovic right up in the air. Uluwashei won the header. Away by Dedic. Marek Tarovic. Nicely worked that. Tahirovic getting it wide. Memic. Johnston's got his hands full, but he's done well.
Marek Tarovic is the one player with real quality for Bosnia. In tight areas, he's the one that just relieves that pressure off them, allows them to switch the ball onto the opposite side there to Memic, who gets the run, and Alistair Johnston, credit to him, didn't dive in this time after picking up the yellow card.
It's the Reds who have the Blues at the moment, with Bosnia leading by a goal to nil. Sead Kolasinac for this throw. That was extremely ambitious from Benjamin Tahirovic. Canada's record against European opposition has improved. They've had a couple of wins in the last 12 months against Romania and Ukraine. Still feeling this, Derek Cornelius. Play has stopped. And they had gone 14 years without beating a European side. It's a yellow card for Ermedin Demirovic for this on Cornelius.
Yeah, it's a little bit late. I think Cornelius has made the most of it. There's always going to be a clash when you're trying to close the ball down, and there's always going to be contact between the two, just the motion of the legs coming together. I think the fans played a part in getting that yellow card, Steve.
Yeah, possibly. Johnston's forward ball, Oliver Shea's header on. Chest off by Jovo Lukic. Johnston, well read. Muharumovic with the forward ball, which Baraktarovic is chasing. And it has gone where Larea wanted it to, which is behind for the goal kick.
He did well, didn't he, Larea? Because it looked like Baraktarovic was going to get the run on him, get in behind him. It was a lovely sweeping ball out to him initially.
4 additional, a minimum thereof, in what is the smallest venue of the 16 being used at this World Cup finals. Capacity around about 44,000 and a bit. Just a little smaller than Guadalajara. Here's the goal scorer, Jovo Lukic. Kolasinac. Tahirovic. Stakio's there to tidy up and find Buchanan, who was caught. And the card is coming out, and it's going to be a second quick-fire yellow card here for Bosnia. Jovo Lukic was trying to win the ball. His boot was a little bit high, a little bit late, and just hooked Buchanan.
I think he just knew that if Buchanan got the ball, he was going to get in a 1v1 situation down that right-hand side.
I was looking at the attendances in MLS, actually, of Toronto FC, who play here. High teens is the norm. The last home game before the World Cup break for MLS, they played Inter Miami here, had a stadium record crowd of over 44,000. That's the power of Messi.
I was going to say, I wonder why that was.
Yeah. Katic. Tahirovic. Memic running in behind. He's quick, but he's not that quick. Ismail Kone. Tejan Buchanan. Hits the corner flag on its way, so it's a throw, not a corner.
He decided to come inside there, Buchanan. And I think it was one of those situations where the defender almost pushed him in that way, but I'm thinking just keep on going down the line, keep on pushing yourself as wide as you can.
It's the referee cam. In the old days, they used to make video games look like football matches. Now they make football matches look like video games with that camera. Motion sickness alert. It's a chance, it's blocked, it's a corner again. Well, he really lashed that. Johnston came off the sturdy Sead Kolasinac. Well, can they turn a succession of set pieces into a goal? In comes the latest. Not this time. Well off target by Derek Cornelius, and that is the continuing problem for Jesse Marsch in Canada over recent weeks and months. Turning opportunities into goals.
It's just interesting that they've had an outswinging corner every single time. They haven't thrown anything on top of the goalkeeper. Was that Ryan Reynolds then that I saw?
I think
He's
it could be.
Canadian, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Well done. Well, that is half-time for Kundo Tejo, says that'll do. And it's been a half to remember for Jovo Lukic, who scored his first international goal. Sergej Barbarez, Bosnian side, are the leaders at half-time in the opening game in Group B. That corner kick flicked on at the near post, a routine that is as old as the hills, and Jovo Lukic took advantage. Half-time in Toronto. It's Canada 0, Bosnia and Herzegovina 1.
Yep, that was Ryan Reynolds, and just 2 down from him was Mike Myers. I think anybody who's anybody in Canada is in that stadium, and they won't be displeased with the scoreline because they've played well in parts, haven't they? But Bosnia have just been efficient.
Yeah, very efficient. I feel as though Canada were maybe expecting a different game, more open game. I think Bosnia have been sitting in that low block, expecting Canada to come onto them and then trying to get them on the counter-attack. But Canada, when they get in them areas, they've got to do more. They've got to do more. It's all about quality. And then if, for the goal, which we'll show a little bit later on, if you're not going to score, concentrate on the set piece. The game, for me, has been frustrating because you've seen that they're trying to get the combinations and everything together, but it's just that final pass, that moment of quality that they've lacked in that first half.
You go with that, Olivier?
Yeah, I agree. They had a couple of chances with Oluwa Sheye and Jonathan David. We're going to see it afterwards, but... Well, the importance of the set pieces. We'll see the goal and
says the former Arsenal player.
yeah. So yeah, it's going to be hard for Canada to come back in a game, I think.
Well, we'll maybe have a look at how they can do that. What you were impressed by, Wayne, was the speed with which Canada started, with real intensity, weren't they?
Yeah, I thought they started really well, and you see straight from the kick-off. If you watch here, to go forward. No, not even a thought going backwards. And then this, into the channel, direct, positive, making Bosnia defend. And then if you look at every player where Canada are, they're in the first third of Bosnia's backline. So I think that was a real intent. And I think that carried on for a few minutes until the game slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, and that's what we saw from Jesse Marsh's teams in the past, wasn't it? Was that high pressure, that intensity. And that led, of course, Olivier, to Jonathan David's chance.
Yeah, we're going to see it. I think that's not the best clearance from the defender. I was a bit surprised. And I think David can hit it like a bit better. I think he tried to be safe. Should have hit it with the laces, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, weak foot, but still, he's a good striker. Could have done better.
So what could he have done maybe differently? We talk about techniques and the way they strike the ball.
Maybe,
He's coming there maybe on his wrong foot. What's he done wrong? What would he done differently?
I would have tried to cross it regarding the position of the keeper, and also go stronger, go with laces. It was a bit safe, as I said. I think he will regret this one, but I wish him to get another one.
Yeah, and then, of course, as the game slowed a little bit, which it's bound to do at some point, the set pieces became more and more important, Michael.
Well, set pieces are so massive in any football, but especially in the World Cup. And as a ball comes in, it's all about, can you get the first contact? And then when it comes out, see Memic here on the edge and don't get the right connection on it. But they were starting to build a little momentum. As the ball comes back and recycles the ball back to him, it's there. Can they get the ball in the box? And even if you don't score, can you make something happen? Again, I talked about Canada defensively not good enough. Lukic, again, with the first contact. But then on the set piece from a corner, I can't believe they're so unorganised. It's ridiculous. I mean, look at it in a little bit more detail here. Because when you're on a corner in a situation, whether you're doing zonal or marking, everyone should know their job. You see Kolasinac there, he's making a rush, and Lukic who scores the goal. So we do it from an attacking point of view. Really good run and a really good finish. But here, as we look at the second angle, Astakio there, I don't understand. If we just hold that on that for a little moment there, because as you see the screen there, they might say they've got a 2v1. But he can see he's crossing it into the box. Where is he going? And as he comes out of that space, it allows him to head it on, and then he gets the finish. But talk about organisation in a World Cup, in a pivotal moment. These are the things that you should be doing better.
It's a detail. I think it's a detail which normally wins games, and that's Bosnia's only corner, and they've scored from it. And Canada have had 9 corners, and Bosnia have defended really well. So they're the details which win your games.
We didn't see as much movement there, did we? As we're used to seeing, certainly in the Premier League. I mean, in top teams, there was quite a static.
Well, that's
picture.
what makes it even worse in terms of conceding it. There wasn't that much movement, but they managed to get a flick on and a header. I think in those situations there, you've got to make sure you set. What's the point practicing set pieces all the way through if then it's so easy to score a goal like this against you? Again, that movement, yes, you've got to applaud the movement and the header, but the second angle here, and it's a perfect angle to show there because there is no danger out there. Stay in your position. As soon as he comes out, he gets a flick on, and it's a header.
Goalkeeper as well needs to do a lot better.
Should have stayed on his line a bit more, maybe. I think he goes too much on the first post and then allowed the striker to head it almost.
If you're out
straight.
there in that World Cup and you're due to play Canada later in the group, are you looking at that set piece and thinking this is something that you're going to capitalise on?
Yeah, there's definitely something to use, seeing that this goal. But I think they're not going to make 2 times the same mistake because, as Micah said, Eustáquio position was wrong, and then behind him, everything was disorganized. So then you need to be quick in your head to resolve the situation. And also, we did not talk about the physical aspects of this team.
They've won 80% of the aerial duels. Yeah.
So very good in the air. When you win the duels, you know, in football, it's all about aggressivity, commitment, and when you win the duels, you have a good chance to score goals.
And we saw before the game, didn't we, the fans all around the world who are invested in Bosnia's performance in this World Cup. And there was a watch party in St. Louis in Missouri. And here you go. This is what it means to these Bosnian fans. I think probably on the balance of play at this point, they can believe their team was ahead. But as we know in this World Cup, it's so big, and to get rid of just 16 teams, you know, in this group stage, having a win in your journey is, in your first game in particular, is very positive indeed.
Against the host as well, one of the 3 hosts. So I think that's massive for them. That'll settle them down. I'll expect now Canada to come on to them, but I wouldn't mind being in that watch party. Looks good.
There's plenty of time for watch parties. You mentioned Oluwaseyi because you were really impressed with him, weren't you? And he had a really good opportunity as well for Canada.
He had a good opportunity using well his body, winning his duel. They had tough duels, but on this one he did really well. He used his body really well. And I think the bounce before he hit the ball, he shoot. Yeah, he could have done better, but the bounce didn't help him.
It's that little touch, you know, that little touch before he shoots him. If you get that on the floor and take that bounce out of it, I think you score.
In that situation, go for laces, like strong, nice and strong. You always try to put it top corner, you know, just go strong and hit the target.
Well,
yeah, but I think if he gets the touch right, he can do that, I think.
Oluwaseyi's touch, his first touch, might not have impressed you, but what about this from the 2 managers? We saw a little bit of talent here.
It was Jesse Martin. It was the way he crossed his arms afterwards. Like, it's a beautiful touch, though. Huh?
It's okay. Yeah.
Barbaros.
Easy.
And his moment as well, Barbaros. Let's have a look at this.
This is better.
This is much better because the ball
as well.
Reverse.
He might not have.
He's still got his hands in his pocket.
He played for Hamburg most of his club football, and obviously played for Bosnia as well, and hadn't managed, as we said before, anybody before he took over the job in 2024, which is incredible, isn't it?
It is incredible.
Why did you bother with Derby and Birmingham? You could have just gone straight to England.
I know, well, maybe if I didn't, I might have got a call up.
There's still hope for me then?
Apparently he just did enough sniping about the national team that they gave in the end, and then he qualified them for a World Cup. Wow. So it's all going well at the moment, but there's 45 minutes to come, of course, Canada, so just hold on. And now, plenty more crowd pleasers are available on iPlayer.
Bring on the crowd pleasers.
Players, every move you have made has led to this. I don't think I've seen anything
For
so
40
cool
games,
in
you've
my
gone
life. You know me too well
on BBC iPlayer.
Well, our next live game sees the third host nation get underway. USA versus Paraguay in Group D. That is later tonight, 1:30 on BBC One and iPlayer. And, of course, 5 times world champions Brazil take on semi-finalists of 4 years ago Morocco tomorrow from 10:30 p.m. That's followed by Scotland's World Cup return. Haiti, the opposition, and coverage begins at 1:10. The other game in Group B sees Qatar take on Switzerland. You can listen to that on BBC Sounds from 8 o'clock.
What I want to speak about is much bigger than football.
The real tragedy of being afraid, it's what it takes.
I'm not a believer in fairy tales, but I am a believer in dreams. Nothing is ours by right. We've got to earn it. Keep going, keep believing.
Dear England, watch now on BBC iPlayer.
From Dear England to Come On Scotland. Steve Clarke's team are all set for their first World Cup game since 1998. They face Haiti tomorrow. And here with the latest news from the camp is Ailey Barber.
Welcome to the Boston Stadium. This is where the 28-year wait for Scotland comes to an end. And alongside me, the man who will walk the team out of the tunnel tomorrow night, Andy Robertson. Andy, I know you don't like to picture yourself in venues before the match starts, but now that you're here, now that you've had a look around, are you beginning to visualise what it might be like tomorrow night?
Yeah, look, it's now, we're on the eve of it, and I think, certainly in the team hotel it feels like Christmas Eve when you're a little kid, and look, obviously me being able to be in the stadium now, it's an incredible stadium, an incredible thing to be a part of, and look, I'm just so proud of everyone that's, all 26 that are going to be able to participate. We've been through so much in our lives and our careers to get to this point, and now we're right on the edge of it, and it's just been so special, and it feels the Denmark game was, an age ago that we've waited so long for it, but now tomorrow's so close, and all the preparations done, and we're ready to go.
You've waited a little while as well since you've come out to America. You've had a few destinations on the way to get here, but being down in Charlotte with all you guys, the atmosphere has been so good. You've got the experiences of the previous 2 European Championships, but this one feels a little bit different in terms of the atmosphere and training and stuff. What's it been like being part of the squad for this major tournament so far?
Well, it's been excellent so far, and credit to the backroom staff as well. They've ticked every single box for us in terms of trying to get us used to the heat, the humidity, everything else that goes along with it, the time difference and things like that. So, look, for us, they've done all they can. Now it's up to us to do all we can. And, we know we've been to the last 2 Euros and it's probably not worked out the way we've wanted it to go. And it's up to us to go and put that right. It's going to be incredibly difficult. The teams that we're playing against are really good teams. It's not easy to get to a World Cup. We've seen that. We've felt the 20-year pain of trying to do it. And, but we need to show up, and we need to show up on the biggest stage, and that's always been the message, and it's always been the plan, and we've done that on many occasions in terms of qualifying campaigns and things like that. Now it's up to do it in the tournament. We've done it a couple of games, probably Switzerland the last Euros, England the Euros before that, but we probably need a little bit more this time, and hopefully we can produce that.
Hopefully can. Cannot wait for tomorrow night. Have a good night's sleep tonight. We'll see you tomorrow, Andy.
Thank you very much.
It all kicks off here against Haiti.
1:10 our coverage starts, but of course we've got Brazil-Morocco for you before that, and we're just debating whether you have a little nap or do you set your alarm. How are you going to
a little nap? You've got to have a little nap. Yeah, a little power nap
at that time. You've got to stay up.
You've got to stay up.
Yeah, you've got to stay up.
A little power nap will be nice.
Yeah.
We're all going to have to pace ourselves over the next 6 weeks, that's for sure. And I'm sure, like the Tartan Army are having a great time already. The noise, the atmosphere, the colour they create. The players, though, must be just bubbling inside, Scotland.
Oh, they must be. I think to have that support behind them as well, and that excitement of playing in the World Cup and knowing this first game is so important for them. I think them players will be feeling absolutely brilliant.
Well, you can see Bosnia have come back out. Second half to come, Micah. How did Canada get back into this?
I think just more quality. I think they've got in some good positions. I think they need to be a little bit more ruthless. Some of them chances that Jonathan David had, he could take them in the second half. I wouldn't panic too much because they can leave themselves exposed on that counter-attack, but just be more ruthless in front of goal.
I think with the same energy, I think they could win the game. Just a bit more composure in front of goal.
Be careful about Edin Dzeko if he comes on.
OK, we hope we might see him, but let's head back to your commentators, Stephen and Steve.
Thank you very much, Gabby. It's Bosnia who will get the second half underway, kicking from right to left, leading by a goal to nil. Their only other victory in World Cup finals football was in Salvador, Brazil, a 3-1 win over Iran. Here's Demirovic. Well gathered by Maxime Crepeau. And if you are enjoying watching the World Cup live, and let's face it, you are watching the World Cup live or enjoying the highlights on the BBC iPlayer, then don't forget you do need a TV license. You can scan the QR code to get one. It's a free kick to Canada. Eustachio is going to take this. No half-time substitutions as yet. Both coaches sticking with what they had. Jesse Marsch will be hoping for improvement, though, as you say, Stephen, you know, they had the better of the game, having fallen behind, but didn't really test Nikola Vasil enough.
No, two great opportunities, should have done better. Like the guys in the studio were saying, more quality in forward areas. I'd like to see Buchanan on this right-hand side really hug the touchline and drag Kolasinac out of position. It might just free up Jonathan David a little bit more, and he's dropping deep trying to affect the game, and it's just not working at the moment.
Johnston's forward ball. Tani Oluwaseyi taken away from him by Nikola Katic. Canada have a throw-in. Trying to get some energy back into the stadium. Alistair Johnston. Eustachio, Oluwaseyi. Katic standing firm. Lovely bit of skill by Oluwaseyi. Great stuff. That's why he's in the starting 11. It's a lovely bit of skill. Vasil got down. He's a big lad, Vasil. He got down very quickly, but what a touch that was.
Yeah, I spoke before about him just before half-time. He's very raw, does some brilliant things. Then he gets himself in a great position, then it's about picking a player out.
Buchanan hurled that. Larrea. The Fougerolles. Eustachio knocked over by Nikola Katic.
I just feel, Steve, if Canada put more pressure on Bosnia here, they're not completing passes. They find it so difficult to get out.
Tejan Buchanan's attempted cross. Jovo Lukic here. Marek Tarevic doesn't bother chasing that.
I think at half-time, Jesse Marsch will have said, there's nothing to fear about this Bosnia team.
Now, the flag stays down for now. Oluwaseyi goes down. The goalkeeper goes down as well. Vasil and Oluwaseyi, they're calling for the physios here. They'll pick the bones out of this. The first thing to say is he offside? And then they'll see what came after that.
The Canada players are telling you exactly what they think. They think it's a penalty. They feel that there's a collision between the two players, and it's the goalkeeper, Vasil, who takes out the striker.
Oluwaseyi is back on his feet. Nikola Vasil is most definitely not at the moment. Pretty certain it's inside the penalty area. Here we are.
First and foremost, is he onside? That's a very difficult one. That's going to be really close because it's Kolasinac at the bottom of the picture who's looking to play him on. Does he win the header? I think the goalkeeper, Vasil, just does enough, gets to the ball, then goes through the player. I don't think it's a penalty.
No, he's clearly got there. It's good goalkeeping, actually. It would have been interesting to see had they had to go to the geometry to work out whether he was on or off. But here's that bit of skill from Oluwaseyi.
Yeah, it's a lovely little drop of the shoulder, little Cruyff turn, gets away. Now you just see that space there. Can he drive a little bit further? There wasn't much movement to help him in the middle of the area. Perhaps the little bit of skill took the players by surprise that it happened so quick.
Lukic with a couple of headers, neither of which he really made proper contact with. Liam Miller. And Miller has snuck in behind Dedic, and he's off and running, Liam Miller. And his pass into Oluwaseyi is misplaced. And again, in the final third, they struggle to find the right pass.
A lovely burst of pace there from Miller. Shows his quality, but then again, just pick that final pass, just slow yourself down, make sure that you complete the pass, and there's an overload on this touchline down below us and on the edge of the penalty area.
Good play by Luke de Fougerolles there to nick in ahead of Emedin Demirovic and win a free kick as a result. Kone. Miller trying to use that pace again. Dedic wasn't going to be beaten as easily this time.
Just doesn't need to foul him here. Yeah, that's well done from Miller. So often we see when a player is in a tight area like that, often the attacking player gives the foul away because they're desperate to get the ball.
Jonathan David for Liam Miller. Stefan Eustáquio. Derek Cornelius, 4 in the box in red, but it's a comfortable take for Vasil. De Fougerolles with a header. And Tejan Buchanan. Well shielded behind by Sead Kolasinac.
Two good moments from Kolasinac. Firstly, the 1v1 where he went to ground, and then they're just holding his ground, using his experience, using his body.
He switched allegiance from his native Germany to Bosnia when Bosnia qualified for the 2014 World Cup. Sead Kolasinac having represented Germany up to under-20 level. Of course, had his spell at Arsenal, 118 games in 5 years. Eustáquio is fouled. It was a moving ball. I thought the referee had missed it, actually, but it definitely was a moving ball. Linesman probably told him. Larrea for Miller. Kone, Eustáquio, nicely played, Larrea here. Oh, it's off the crossbar, what a clearance that was! It looked a certain goal for Richie Larrea, and somehow it was hooked onto the underside of the crossbar. Kolasinac with that defending.
Oh, it's just brilliant all round the football. The one touch here, it's brilliant. But then Kolasinac using all that experience, get beyond the goalkeeper. Just thinking, what if it goes past the goalkeeper? Can I help my goalkeeper out? That is sensational from Kolasinac. Absolutely brilliant.
Well, that is as good as a goal. No wonder he celebrated it. This is dangerous. It's Demirovic, and it's gone wide. In on goal. Emedin Demirovic could not take the opportunity. And it was a big one.
Yeah, it's a simple ball down the middle, far too easily. Cornelius with the flick into the path of Demirovic. He should do better, but credit to Crepo. He hasn't had much to do in this game. I know he's conceded a goal, but that is a really good save from the goalkeeper. Not using his hands, but using his feet to challenge the striker. But this is the Kolasinac save again. Just brilliant from Kolasinac. There's the celebration as well. It could be vital.
Now, that's the moment of the game so far. In comes the Bosnian corner. Crepo comes looking for it. Found it just about. Ismail Kone here as a five-man red counter-attack. Jonathan David can't squeeze it through to Oluwaseyi. That's not a great clearance from Vasil. Eustachio. Miller. Not his finest moment.
No, but the game's just starting to get a little bit stretched now. We're starting to see a few moments of better quality, higher end of the pitch. That moment from Canada. I'm sure Jesse Marsh is absolutely delighted with the way that they cut through Bosnia.
Amongst his coaching staff there, Ewan Sharp, a Scot from Stirling. He'll be watching Scotland, Haiti, I'm sure. That's a throw. He can't be offside from the throw-in. It's Jonathan David. It's deflected, and Vasil. That was an important deflection from Katic because Oluwaseyi was in the middle. The game is getting pacier and a bit more open.
Yeah, we're getting stretched now, but credit to Bosnia. They're just holding out at the moment. So the first half was a little bit rigid, well organised from Bosnia. Now we're just starting to see a few gaps appear. He's deep in conversation, Steve, Jesse Marsh, with his coaching staff, but I think the first 10 minutes or so of this second half he'll be absolutely delighted with.
It feels like there are more goals in this. They're saying, and they're quite right, that he's taken too long about the throw-in. Sead Kolasinac, you only get 5 seconds now. And the throw is given to Canada as a result by Kolasinac, who had momentarily forgotten one of those rule tweaks. Or law tweaks, I should call them, really.
I like it as well. I think it's a good rule. It speeds the game up. Stops that time-wasting element, and the team's just almost playing for time.
Derek Cornelius for the header. Eustachio, Kone. There's a high boot. The referee had a good view of it.
Link up well the two in midfield, Kone and Eustachio for Canada. They've marshalled that midfield area well. They've got more athleticism in the midfield. He's a player steeped in experience. Eustachio, his time at Porto.
He still is a Porto player, though he was loaned to Los Angeles FC for the second half of the European season. In goes the Bosnian free kick. Jovan Lukic to Sead Kolasinac. Keeper's coming for this. He better get there. Crepo. He did, but at the expense of a corner.
He has to catch that for me. You know, it's a long looping ball, but not really under any pressure. Take the pressure off your defence.
Ivan Basic with this corner kick for Bosnia-Herzegovina. Scored their goal from a corner. Up goes the heads, and they weren't a million miles away from scoring a second goal from a corner. Tarik Muhammatic with the header over the top of the crossbar.
Yeah, another free header, and there's not really much movement from him. You see the number 4 in the middle of the picture there. Just drops off half a yard. Free header. Difficult skill to get that on goal, but he'll be disappointed.
There's a host of Canada substitutions about to be made. This is the header which went over the top of the crossbar from Muharremovic. Tarovic had made a good run there, and it was important that Cornelius cut it out. Here's Liam Miller, Eustachio. The sight of 3 substitutes getting ready is maybe just put an extra bit of zip into Canadian legs. Kone.
Miller
lost it yet. Tahirovic has done well. Marek Tarovic. It'll be a Bosnian throw-in on the far side. It's going to be 3 Canadian changes and 2 for Bosnia in a sec. Confirmation that had they decided that was a foul by the goalkeeper, it would not have been a penalty because Oluwaseyi was offside. We're going to see Promised David amongst the 3 Canadian substitutions in a minute. First off is Liam Miller, who is going to be replaced by Jacob Schaffelberg, who's recovered from recent groin surgery.
Yeah, he's done okay, Miller, at times, but I think he just wants to be a little bit more positive, more crosses into the box.
Jonathan David is coming off, and so too Tejan Buchanan. So 2 very experienced leading lights, actually 3 really, with Miller as well, all coming off. Promised David is a centre forward, no relation to Jonathan David, but a player of promise. Ali Ahmed on for Tejan Buchanan. And the goal scorer makes way. Jovo Lukic, replaced by Samir Bajda. I think he's had a good game, hasn't he, Jovo Lukic?
Yeah, he's done well, he's held the ball up well, and obviously scoring his goal so important as well, but I thought he was a decent focal point for them to build from.
Armin Gigovic on for Ivan Basic is the other change.
I can't say I'm too surprised to see Jonathan David leave the pitch. I thought he was very ineffective. He's the star man for Canada. And he just didn't affect the game at all. Had that one opportunity in the first half, which he should have done better with.
Struggling to get this away, Bosnia at the moment. Promised David was getting involved. There's a foul. There's 2 Bosnian defenders on the floor, actually. Home crowd aren't convinced that Armin Gigovic was really hurt, or that Benjamin Tahirovic was either. It's not a huge amount, is it, from Promised David? Now, I'm not sure there's not that much that the Canadian centre forward could have done about it. Promised David is a 24-year-old, hip surgery in February, he's just recovered. Plays in Belgium with Union Saint-Gilloise, for whom he scored 15 times last season. Ali Ahmed here. The substitutes have all been involved already for Canada, who have a throw-in. Ali Ahmed cutting inside nicely. Eustachio's slip was unfortunate. Promised David, it was just taken off his toe at the crucial moment by Nikola Katic. He's going for the big old swing.
Yeah, but he's such a presence, isn't he, in that area. Good play from Ali Ahmed on this near touchline, and then he feeds it into Promised David. That's going to cause a problem for the Bosnia backline, though. Just the physical presence now to be able to bounce the ball off.
Johnson for Canada. they find themselves an equalising goal. They've never won a point in World Cup finals football, Canada. They wanted all three, but they probably take one as it stands at the moment. And here is Eustachio. Eustachio shot!
They're just always leaning away and falling away from the ball as he tries to take that shot. But now they're starting to find more gaps. They've got that pace on in wide areas, fresh legs. Eustachio, he's been a quality player for Canada in the middle of the park, the calm player. Just can't get that quality on that shot.
Given away carelessly by Tahirovic. Good recovery by Dedic. Memic forward, but nowhere near. Bajda, one of the two Bosnian substitutes who came on. Oh, it's brilliantly controlled. Super touch by Schaffelberg, gets the cross in, up goes Oliver Shea, and it's off the line. Katic in the right place at the right time. They continue to knock at Bosnia's door, Canada, and Bosnia continue to keep them at bay, but they're going to have to defend a free kick here. Bajda with a trip on Luc de Fougerolles.
Yeah, they've got to continue this momentum, they've got to continue to put Bosnia under pressure, as you see the foul again from de Fougerolles. But a great ball in from Schaffelberg on that left-hand side to the back post.
Ali Ahmed. Eustachio, he kept it in, he has. Ali Ahmed again. And Derek Cornelius gave it a worthy effort to try and keep it in, but it was always unlikely he'd reach that. Again, rather like Kolasinac early in the second half, right on the line.
Yeah, again, it's just making sure you're on the cover. This one was a little bit easier. There wasn't too much pace on the header. But it's, again, it's that positivity of getting forward. Jesse Marsh, he keeps on pushing his team to believe that they can get something out of this game.
Oh, Demirovic with the ball around the corner. This could be trouble. Baraktarovic for Bosnia. Baraktarovic going alone at the moment. He's going to need some help at some point. Maybe hung on to it too long. Larea made the block, and that's comfortable for Maxime Crepeau. Do you know, this could be a terrific last quarter of the game, because it's end-to-end stuff, mostly from the left to the right end, but Bosnia are having their moments too. It's going to be a Canadian free kick here. We're on the cusp of a hydration break, and Bosnia will not be unhappy about that.
No, they won't. Canada won't want that at all, and that's one of the issues with the break, is it just breaks momentum within the game, and Canada have just got themselves going. It's often like when we see a VAR check, how much that can slow a game down and interfere with the momentum.
Is this the moment? Canada free kick again, clipped in by Ali Ahmed, headed away. Ser Kolasinac goes to retrieve it for Bosnia. De Fougerolles. That's a little bit daft by the young defender, giving away a soft free kick. The referee inevitably then says, OK, let's take the hydration break, and the pressure is off Bosnia for the moment. So, 1-0 still midway through the second half of the game, and an opportunity for the coaches to do their thing. And of course you can scan the QR code on screen now to have your say with the BBC Sport Player Rater. More World Cup football tonight. USA against Paraguay, Group D, LA. That's BBC One at 1:30 in the morning and on the iPlayer. And tomorrow on the BBC, great doubleheader. Brazil against Morocco. That's 10:30 BBC One and the iPlayer. That's Group C from New Jersey. And later into Sunday morning, if you can stay up, and you should, it's Scotland against Haiti from Boston, also BBC One and the iPlayer, and also in Group C. And also Qatar and Switzerland, the other two sides in this Group B, will meet tomorrow. That is available on BBC Sounds. Jesse Marsh has got to earn his corn here, Stephen Warnock.
Yeah,
He's got a couple of minutes to make a difference.
Yeah, he did it in the first half, where when he got this opportunity to speak to his team, it helped them a little bit. They regained the ball more, they got more composure, more possession. I just don't think he'll have wanted that break then. I think he felt that his team understood what was being asked of them. They've brought the substitutes on, the 3 substitutes. They've had an immediate impact in the game, getting on the ball, causing the Bosnians a lot of problems.
And will this little break that momentum? Well, those Bosnian supporters just 22 minutes or so away from what might be only their second ever World Cup finals victory. And Canada the same distance away from making it 7 defeats out of 7 in World Cup finals football.
I think that's also playing its part in the game, Steve, that pressure on Canada being the home nation, or one of the home nations, playing at home today. Such a big occasion. They probably felt, looking at Bosnia, this was a good opportunity for them to start this competition well. So far, they've under-delivered.
Bosnia and Herzegovina will actually travel more miles than any other nation in the group stage of this World Cup for their matches in Toronto, LA and Seattle. More than 3,000 miles covered. Not as many as you and me, mate, over the next 4 or 5 weeks.
We'll give them a run for the money, won't we?
I think we'll beat them. I think we'll be here longer than them as well, if I'm honest.
Do you? That's a big call, Steve.
It's a Canadian throw. Ivanovic with the clearance. Richie Larea with this throw-in. Luke de Fougerolles. Nearly had his pocket picked. It's clipped forward dangerously here. Bajdar's header didn't quite find Memic. Ali Ahmed for the home side, running into Sead Kolasinac.
He doesn't want to look back though, does he, Ali Ahmed? It's almost like he's been given that license just to run every time he gets the ball at his defender, take people on, lift this crowd, lift his teammates as well.
A Norwich wide man replacing a Hull wide man, of course. Toronto born and bred, Ali Ahmed on home turf. Alphonso Davies watching on. I don't think we'll see him today. Had that ACL injury, and it's been followed by all kinds of muscle problems since he recovered from that. He hasn't played for his nation in 15 months as Sergei Barbarez prepares another couple of changes here. Ivan Sunjic is going to be coming on, once of Birmingham City. And also the young superstar, really, Kerim Alabegovic is going to be coming on. Has signed for Bayer Leverkusen from Red Bull Salzburg. We expected him to be in the starting lineup, but he's had to wait his moment to come on for Amar Memic. And that's a goal kick.
Just over 15 minutes to go now. You expect Canada to perhaps make a couple more changes and then really throw everything at Bosnia. I think this crowd are wanting a little bit more.
Johnston. Miscontrolled by Kone. Ooh, Demirovic nearly got it around the corner. Luke de Fougeron with the header. Jacob Schaffelberg. Sad Kolasinac. Sunjic had 5 seasons at Birmingham City. Kolasinac forward. Anja Begovic to Muharamovdic. Katic. Samir Bajdan, nice little ball. Should have been controlled by Gigovic actually. Sunjic. Ali Ahmed with the stretch.
I talked about the water break having an effect. Well, suddenly now we're seeing that again, where Bosnia have just got a control of the game and made a couple of substitutions and just managed to regain more possession.
So Kyle Larin is coming on. Oluwaseyi, who was unlucky not to find the equaliser, is replaced by the much more experienced Kyle Larin, who had a successful loan spell at Southampton from Real Mallorca this season. What was an ill-fated Southampton season, obviously, in the end.
Well, will Jesse Marsh's plan work? Because what he wanted was Kyle Larin to have an impact in the second half of this game. Will we see it?
He's a good-looking fella, isn't he?
He's all right.
Ali Ahmed here. Outside of the boot, ball is a lovely one, and Kyle Larin was nearly onto it. Just something a little bit different from Ali Ahmed, which is good to see.
Yeah, he's lively, isn't he? He's had more of an impact in the short time that he's been on the pitch than Buchanan had on that right-hand side.
Unbeaten in 8 games, Canada, but they have fewer than 15 minutes of normal time to keep that run going. Kone. De Fougeron. Cornelius. Schaffelberg. Cornelius. Eustachio. Kone. I think they'll feel a bit hard done by if they do get nothing from this game, the home side. Kone. Round the corner from promise. David! And in! Kyle Larin scores for Canada! He's only been on the pitch a matter of moments. But Kyle Larin scores the equalising goal for Canada. And Toronto erupts in celebration. It's 1-1.
What a moment. It all comes from Kone, because he's the one now who's going to inject a little bit of pace into the game, bypasses his man, feeds the ball in, and then that little round the corner pass here from David Promise, and that's that ball as it comes in into Kyle Larin. How quick is the touch, the swivel, the turn? It takes a tiny little deflection past the goalkeeper, Basile. He's got no chance of getting anywhere near it, such is the strike. But that's the impact that Jesse Marsh wanted. That's the attitude of the player coming onto the pitch.
Took a little deflection off Nikola Katic on its way beyond the fingertips of Basile. Canada 1, Bosnia 1. Now, he'll be thinking, can we go on and win it? We are in for an intriguing last 10 minutes here in the opening game in Group B. Might be the smallest stadium in this World Cup, but right now it certainly is 40-odd thousand people, sounding more like 60-odd thousand.
Yeah, it's definite in here. It's absolutely brilliant. They know how to get behind the team. They wanted lifting, they needed lifting a little bit. And my word, that has just lifted them. But all the substitutions, Steve, have had an impact.
It's promised David. He's claiming a foul, but I don't think the referee is impressed.
No, I think he's probably just caught the defender's studs as he's kicked towards goal. But he's a handful, he really is. But this is the goal, a little give and go round the corner. There you can see he's onside, but it's all about how quickly he can take the ball, how quickly he can get his shot away. He doesn't allow the goalkeeper to set himself, he doesn't allow the defender to get close, uses his body, rolls him perfectly. The finish is beautiful. Yes, it takes a little nick, but that control with his knee, brilliant from Kyle Larin.
A 31st international goal on the occasion of his 91st appearance for his country. The ball has gone out of play just for Dedic.
I think there's many Canadian fans who've felt that move to Southampton for Kyle Larin has helped him just get that confidence up before the World Cup. It makes him a better player coming into this. He's had a difficult time of late.
Sunjic for Bosnia finding Tahirovic. Tahirovic was dispossessed. Referee Facundo Tejo says play on. Vasil's clearance is heading for a Canadian throw. If it goes out, it hasn't actually gone out. The spinning ball has stayed in. Sunjic did well with it too. Alistair Johnston going to be pinned in a little bit here, but he's found a way out. Ali Ahmed brings it down. Kyle Larin was off after it, but Vasil would have got there first. Sead Kolasinac has stayed down here, hence the boos. The Canadian supporters don't feel that the 32-year-old Kolasinac is as injured. It's cramp, I think. They're saying a substitution, aren't they? They're signalling to the bench that Kolasinac might not be able to carry on here.
Yeah, it does look like cramp though, Steve. You can see the physios are trying to work on it now. I think had it been a worse injury, that would have been a real concern for Bosnia going forward in the World Cup.
Yeah, he's had a good game, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's done very well.
Denis Burnic looks as though he is going to be coming on. As Kolasinac hobbles as swiftly as he can to the near touchline. Substitutions are time limited as well, like throw-ins to 10 seconds, but not if you're injured, which is just as well for Sead Kolasinac, because he needs a little more than 10 seconds to get off the pitch, and is replaced by Denis Burnic, out of contract at Karlsruhe in the second tier in Germany. He comes on at left back.
He's going to have to get up to the pace of the game very, very quickly, as it's been frantic in this second half, and it'll get even more frantic now.
Alija Begovic wins the throw-in. They say fortune favours the brave. Well, Canada brave enough now to go for the win, having been staring a few moments ago down the barrel of a loss. Ismail Kone with a very poor bit of play indeed. And Bajdar wins a corner for Bosnia.
He did all there, Lorea, because he wanted to dive in at first, and that's the issue now towards the end of the game, when you feel like you want to win the ball back quicker, you can dive in, make the wrong decision. Kept his composure. I'm just going to have to defend this now. They haven't defended them well so far in this game.
almost into the last 5 minutes of normal time. Bosnia's corner kick comes in. Well, complete miss kick by Bernic, who's the man who's just come on. 4 in the box. Larea did pretty well. Schaffelberg couldn't quite get it under his control.
He did great, Steve, because he didn't buy the step over. He just stayed on his feet, knew that he had numbers around him, didn't dive into it. One thing that they don't want to do now, having got themselves back into the game, Canada, is concede a penalty or a stupid goal.
To throw in to Bosnia, who look tired now. Omar Dedic hauling his body to go and get one of the spare balls from the far touchline.
I've almost felt when they got themselves to blame, Steve, in the way that they've played. They got the goal and then they sat back and didn't really come out the shape. The quality hasn't been there from them.
Armin Gigovic almost losing it. Sunjic forward, Cornelius.
I'll go for a corner.
Yeah, it was a swipe, well saved, Nikola Katic. It's not a corner, but it is a throw.
At the moment, it's good as a corner because of the way that the players that they've got that can launch the ball in with that long throw. See Alistair Johnson heading across. We know he's got that low trajectory on the throw.
In it comes from Johnston. Out it goes from Katic. Eustaquio. Johnston. Good header again by Katic, who hasn't missed very much. That's not a bad idea. Ermedin Demirovic is off after this. He's got the legs to get there. Demirovic holding off Larea. Sunjic. Gigovic. Demirovic running into Cornelius. Thomas David did well. And it's a free kick to Canada.
He did very well. He's just trying to pick the crowd up now. He knows how important this is, the final moments of this game. These tired bodies, tired legs of the Canadian players. They need every little bit of help that they can get.
Here's Derek Cornelius to Ismail Kone. De Fougerolles. Johnston, Ali Ahmed. Ismail Kone. Ahmed again, he's made a real difference since he came on. Eustaquio. And he was hoping rather than knowing somebody was there. It's lashed away by Muharrimovic.
Jesse Marsh just having a word with his centre-back there, De Fougerolles, who had made an overlapping run, and he's saying to him, listen, one thing we can't do is lose a goal here. You've got to keep your shape as much as possible.
Off for Sergei Barbarez, the full-time whistle now. He'd shoot your arm off right down the elbow.
Absolutely.
Ismail Kone. Johnston forward. Eustaquio managed to get there but not control it. Begovic, Demirovic, Sunjic, Tahirovic bouncing a little bit too high for him. De Fougerolles, Eustaquio, Ali Ahmed. It's a free kick to Canada. We're into the 90th minute.
It looks like they're going to make one more change, Canada. Whether it's going to be an attacking player, they've just called someone back.
Well, Jonathan Osorio is going to be coming on, bags of experience. This is his home stadium, plays in MLS with Toronto FC. He's going to be on shortly, but not before this free kick. Eustaquio. Too close to the goalkeeper, it's a poor delivery. Comfortable take for Nikola Vasil.
Yeah, so disappointing when that happens. And one thing you can't do is hit the goalkeeper. You've got to either hit it far left, big diagonal, or short right.
A minimum of 6 to play. Kone with a header. Sunjic. Denis Bernic. Bajdar's done pretty well. That's good defending though. Defugerol played it on to Slamed Bajdar. It's a goal kick to Canada, and they're ready now to make this stoppage time substitution. Osorio, who played all 3 games for Canada at the last World Cup, is going to be coming on, and it is the captain Eustachio who's going to make way.
I can only guess it's a fitness thing where he might have cramp or just feeling the heat a little bit, because he's put in a really solid performance, the captain. Vastly experienced and used all that today.
As is his replacement, 92nd cap for Osorio, wearing 21 on the ball here for Canada. Kone let it get away from him. Alibegovic for Bosnia. That's a neat little turn by the 18-year-old, and he steps inside, and he went down, and there was no contact at all on him, I don't think. He's still rolling, and play is still going on. Now it's been stopped, but not because Alibegovic is down, but because Muhorovic is down. They're both still down.
This is the one where he goes to ground. Is there a touch?
He's trodden on his left foot. Yeah, Kone's just landed on his left foot. Fair enough.
Yeah, and this is the other one. Just a clash of heads more than anything. Are coming together between the 2 players. There's not much that can be done about that. However, the referee feels like he needs to blow. And it's the right decision.
It is a free kick to Bosnia-Herzegovina, and it's heart in the mouth maybe for Canada.
Oh, it certainly will be. There'll be an element now where it'll be get the ball in the right area, give us an opportunity to go and win the first header.
Armin Gigovic to take this free kick. Goes long from Dedic. Not a great clearance from this David. Kyle Larin is there, and Larin gets it under control, and he's pulled back, and that'll be a yellow card for Nikola Katic. Well-deserved one too.
He's more than happy, Katic there. Not a problem to take a yellow card. The one thing he didn't want was Kyle Larin running away from him. Big wry smile. As you can see from this, the referee perfectly positioned right on top of it.
Canada have taken that free kick and just launched it out of play. Nikola Katic, who was part of the Plymouth Argyle side, which knocked Liverpool out of the FA Cup a couple of seasons ago, in the book. Well, their next game is in Vancouver against Qatar. If they win it, they will, you would imagine, certainly be heading through to the knockout stage, but they do want to win this group, because that would mean that they stay in Canada in the round of 32. And if they were to win that, they'd stay in Canada for the round of 16. Oh, that's awful. Given away really, really poorly to Gigovic. And Cornelius is happy that he can make amends for that error. Ismail Kone. Jonathan Osorio. There is time, but not much. Osorio. Ali Ahmed, nice first touch. Scooped up toward Larin. Vasil comes. Vasil takes.
Yeah, he does well, Vasil, just to make sure that he keeps hold of the ball under pressure. And you just feel there as the ball came out to Ali Ahmed, he's just got to concentrate on that delivery. I think that's been the biggest takeaway from this game. The final ball, the moments of quality that we expect at the highest level, they just haven't been there.
Defugerol. Cornelius. Maybe 90 seconds or so to play. Larea, Osorio. Larea can reach this. There are four in the middle. Larea and Larin, great block. Superb block to deny Larin from Tarek Muharremovic.
It felt like he'd done everything right, didn't he, Kyle Larin? He was falling to the right player again. Brilliant from Larea, the left back.
To Fougerolles. Ali Ahmed. Alistair Johnston putting it into a position he was hoping Ali Ahmed could get to, but he was blocked off by Kerim Alibegovic. Good block.
This. Oh, it's absolutely brilliant from Muharremovic. Has to get it right, times it perfectly. A lovely touch from Larin, gets the shot and it's blocked.
And that is that. It is a first ever point in World Cup finals football for Canada, thanks to Kyle Larin's equaliser. It is all square, and that means that Bosnia-Herzegovina draw again. 6 draws on the run now, and both sides will go into match day 2 in Group B with a point on the board. It is a bit of footballing history for Canada, who had to come from behind, deserved their equaliser. Kyle Larin with the goal after Jovan Lukic had headed Bosnia-Herzegovina in front in the first half. A good start to Group B and a bit of history for Canadian football. Canada 1,